Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers! Welcome back to Wizdom Dropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. But today, we're taking the dog for a walk. Hey, the happy puppy! Are you a happy puppy? She's like, yes, I'm a happy puppy. Puppy is a state of consciousness, people. But with that said, today's content, today's video, this topic is death, and it's a little less fun. But we're talking about death cycles for a couple reasons. Because one, we see this massive death cycle on like multiple levels happening in society right now. The corona, Black Lives Matter, back with a vengeance, so to speak. That's, vengeance is a bad word perhaps, but on other levels it's accurate. Really just justice is coming forward and the collapse is real. So that's the summation of that. But to move forward, Pluto is also in Capricorn, y'all, and it has been for a very long time. So this video is also teaching us about Pluto if we're students of astrology or just engaging with that content if you already know of the planet of Pluto. It's just we're on that philosophical level together. So moving on, death cycles suck, and death cycles meaning like you're losing something. You lost somebody passed away, you lost a relationship, you lost an animal that was precious to you, you had a traumatic experience as a kid where, something happened that was taken from you that shouldn't have been taken from you. And there's so many levels of this notion of loss, and your own experience of that is fine. No matter where you are in that, if you're like crying about it and being like a victim state of mentality about it, that's okay for a certain amount of time. That's like part of the process. But there's a point in anybody's life where we have the option given to us after this experience of loss, after this experience of death in our life, where we can move forward as people who are not defined by that experience anymore. And that's really where the wisdom comes forward in these experiences that totally suck and are like super mega traumatic and not groovy. And I apologize for all the cars. I hope that's not like incredibly annoying for you. But oh yeah, subscribe if you're not already. Random interjection, because yeah, I'm here daily with this kind of content, and if you vibe with me in this content, then cool, let's build together. But moving on, if you're gonna be somebody who's experiencing this, which all of us will at some point or another, loss, right? And in the collective right now, we're recognizing the loss, which is beautiful to witness, you know what I'm saying? But the point, my friend, the point of loss, if you want to use this to level up, whatever experience you're at, if you want to level up and you want to become more of who you authentically are at the end of the day, then at some point in time throughout that process, you have to realize that that experience does not define you. Whatever that experience is, whatever that loss is, that loss does not define you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really where you get the wisdom of Saturn. To talk about Saturn for a brief second, because it is involved, after all, in the mega conjunction. That's loss. And there was this ancient association with Saturn that, yeah, he's time, he's the gatekeeper of the third dimension, but he's also there in your life, whether it's the Saturn return, whatever, to make you more authentically of who you are. And I just did a video on this that I'm going to post tomorrow, so if you're not already subscribed, check it out. But like, the point being, you can move on from a loss and become stronger for it. You can move on from a loss and become another version of yourself that you didn't know was previously you or accessible to you until you went through that portal of trauma, until you went through that portal of shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you know the goddess Kali Ma, which I know the goddess Kali Ma, you feel she's the goddess that takes heads. She's the goddess associated with death. She's the goddess that will just kill everybody if she needs to. I mean, she can. That's the point. She is this loss. She is this devastation, the storm, that takes away things. She is that force. And, on the other side of that, though, it's so that creation can happen. And it might not be portrayed in lore in exactly those terms, but when you sit with that notion and you're a person who has experienced this denial or this loss or this void experience, or creating this, this new beginning, whether or not you wanted to, sort of thing. It was imposed on you. It was something that was taken from you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is for you, that resonates with you. The reason, if you want to use it to level up, if you want to reframe it in your head, and I'm not saying it's just, these things are not necessarily just that happen to us, but if you want to reframe it, the reason is so that you can have that new beginning, so that you can become Saturn, more of who you authentically are through that process. And, the other thing I want to mention on the topic of Jupiter, since this is, after all, a Pluto Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, is that when you get things that are just given to you, when you get things that are just dropped on your doorstep that are good, objectively good, right? if you hadn't gone through the death cycles in life, if you haven't gone through the denials in life, Pluto, Saturn, right, respectively, then would you appreciate all of Jupiter's blessings and abundance in life? There's a reason for all the energies, y'all. Just like there's a reason for every skin color on the planet, there's a reason for your incarnation. There's reasons for this stuff. It doesn't, nothing is an accident. Nothing is an accident. So with that said, if you think about it, what are you birthing through the process of loss? Who are you actually becoming that is better in some way, shape, or form, despite those traumatic or negative experiences as a result of the loss or as a result of what happened? And that's, it takes a big state of mind. So some of the most badass people are the people who have gone through the most things, and there's a reason for that, because they understand this process. And when you come out on the other side of anything, it doesn't mean that the experience is gone. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm done, it's over, That's not how it is. That's not how it works. But it means that you're at a new level of accessing perhaps more peace than you were before that. And also in that process, you become more well-rounded, more grown into who you actually are as a soul. So I hope this video finds you well, and I hope that, it spoke to the healing in you, and I hope that if you are on a recovery journey, as I think it's almost fair to say all of us are at some point, then I hope this helps you, and I hope it brings you peace. And if you're not already subscribed, and if you are subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like the video if it brought you value. Put a comment down below if you want other Q&A style vids. I'm like super happy to do those on astrology or whatever. And with that said, my friend, if you want a reading as well, Wizdom Dropz, all Z's, @gmail.com. Until next time, and through next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.